Hey.
Senator, what did you hear today that was different than what you've been hearing over the last couple of days to make you feel comfortable voting yes?
Well, look, I am very proud that I played a role with this group of this significant and large group of bipartisan senators to get government reopened and to get a commitment to take up the cause of the Dreamers on the floor of the U.S. Senate. We haven't done that in 5 years. And on Thursday night, when the bill came over from the House, we said, that is not sufficient. What can we do to get the cause of the Dreamers up? It's urgent. On Friday night, we made the same pitch. You heard Senator McConnell stand on the floor. He called Dreamers illegal immigrants. They're not illegal. Dreamers are legal. They have a legal protection given by the President of the United States. Until President Trump declares them illegal, they're legal. And the other thing that Senator McConnell said Friday night is there is no urgency about the situation with the Dreamers. I got 13,000 in Virginia who are afraid for their lives and their families. There is an urgency. So what we decided is this group of nearly 30 bipartisan, we came together around two immediate issues. There are longer term issues we want to work on too, and the immediate issues were open government and let everybody know the cause of the Dreamers is urgent. We ought to try to find a solution. And because there's a base bill out there, the Graham-Durbin bill, that may not be the vehicle we ultimately settle on because we're continuing to negotiate. We think the combination of the leader making the pledge that we'll go to immigration for the first time since 2013 and this group of 30, we're going to hang together to make sure it's done. We feel real good about opening the government up and giving the Dreamers their day on the floor of the Senate, which they haven't had for a very long time.
How big of a deal was the personal trust in the room with that bipartisan group and the trust that you guys have now placed in Mitch McConnell to take this forward?
Well, the personal trust among the 30 was very, very important. I think, my critique of this place is that everything gets run by the caucuses, and of course I want the caucuses to be strong, and I strongly support my caucus leader, but there's got to be some non-caucus space where people can work together, not just with folks in the same party. And all of us in the room felt the same way. So we're sitting around in Susan's office again and again, and then we're dispatching and going talking to the leaders, and then coming back and doing the same thing, shuttle diplomacy. So we do have a strong degree of trust in each other that we want this outcome of opening the government and finding a permanent protection for Dreamers. Everybody in that room said we got to find permanent protection for Dreamers, and that's really important. And then in terms of, look, trust in McConnell, or you could ask Republicans, trust in Schumer, we actually think that this group of 30 helps with that. Because everybody can remember a slight of this or that happened in the past. It's ultimately unproductive. But if you've got a bipartisan group of 30 that's there to say, look, we're going to support you. If we do these things, we need to move forward. We need to do these issues. Still got big budget issues we have to resolve. Today we opened government. We got 6 years of funding for CHIP, which is deeply important to Virginia. The reopening government, deeply important to Virginia, and we got the guarantee that we will take up the issue of the Dreamers on the floor, which we hadn't had. We didn't get it Friday night, and we didn't get it really till this morning.
So to critics who say Democrats caved,
there will always be critics. Just like there were critics about shutting the government down, who were deeply afraid about their Social Security disability check or whether they would have a job to go to. One of the senators, I'll leave them nameless, in the group of 30 said, one of the staffers, my most recently hired staff, said, I can't pay my rent if the government is shut down. I mean, this is not a minor matter. So there will be critics on the left and the right, and reasonably so. You can have a different point of view about these things. I get that. But my goal, look, I've always been for the Dreamers since long before I got into public office. My goal is to make something happen for them. And I think given this setup, I mean, we know who's in the White House. We know who the majorities are. It might be different if circumstances were different, but we're living in a reality. I think this is the most likely path to find a solution for Dreamers. So, I hope they stay at the table. I hope they lean on senators. Then I hope they lean on House members.